Welcome back, everyone, and sorry I had a day off there. I wasn't really busy, but I was kind of busy. I was watching basketball and Daredevil all day yesterday, so I didn't really make any videos. I just took the day off from that. But I kind of wanted to talk about that today because holy shit, is it a damn good time to be a comic book fan right now. I started reading comic books when I was probably around like 7 or 8 back in the 80s. Yes, I was born in 81. And I remember reading comics like pre-Image stuff, which I looked up when came out in 92, I believe. So yeah, it was... I've been reading comics my whole life. I still read comics. And this latest, I guess, release, or maybe this year's releases of comic book games, have been comic book movies, has just been absolutely insanely good. Just fucking unbelievable. And Daredevil is kind of just brought everything to a new level once again. I mean, Daredevil Season 1 was amazing, but holy shit, the Season 2, like... I don't want to get into spoilers, because it just came out and not everyone binged it like me. But, I might get into minor things, so I guess be warned. But I'm going to try to be careful, not going to spoil anything big. I might mention characters that show up. But I won't hit any big plot points. But I guess before I go into Daredevil, it's just this year so far and this year coming. So, Deadpool came out earlier on the movie side. And then, I think, isn't it this weekend that Batman v Superman comes out? Or is that next weekend? Anyways, I have tickets for the Tuesday following that because $5 movie day. At least that's something we have here. Then right after that, we're going to have X-Men Apocalypse, Civil War. Then later this year, I think Doctor Strange is coming out. Like, holy fuck. Like, I'm like in disbelief that all this cool shit is happening. And I remember back in, I think it was like probably like 98, 99. Me and my friends were talking, because that's right when the Star Wars prequels were coming out, and... Oh, that wasn't what I wanted to hit. The first X-Men movie was coming out, and they started to lay out these long-term plans where, these movies are going to be, for like the next 10 years of these movies, and the Star Wars movies are going to be like every couple years and everything, and... Me and my friends were talking like, do you think when we're in our 30s we're still going to be excited for this stuff? And sure enough, I'm in my 30s, and holy fuck, I am loving it. But yeah, so Deadpool came out earlier this year. And I don't know how it gets much cooler than that. It was a complete fresh take on some of the movies that were kind of getting a little bit dull. And just the fact that they were able to make Deadpool, make him the way they did, and like do it so kind of like, I guess, faithfully to the spirit of the character, it was just absolutely incredible. It didn't feel like any movies we've seen before. And that's not even about the whole thing of it being R-rated, just the fact that it was so fucking good. I was a little disillusioned after Age of Ultron, because it felt like we've seen it. And although it was cool to see Ultron on the screen, especially, I think the coolest thing about that is where they went with Vision, just like fully going for it with Vision. But it's just kind of like, okay, we see all these guys fighting a big faceless army once again, big fucking deal. It just felt like we've seen it before. But, Deadpool brought it to a whole new level, and, Daredevil Season 1 the year before really did it for me. So, seeing this Season 2 now, just absolutely mind-blowing. I just can't wait for everything else this year. But then, I guess, we still also have so much good stuff on TV. The Flash is incredible. I didn't watch that till the first season was over, and then I kind of binged it. on recommendations from some gaming buddies, and holy fuck was that amazing. You know, the Arrow's not bad. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is getting a lot better. Agent Carter's been kind of interesting. There's just so much stuff. And then, of course, you have The Walking Dead, one of my favorite things altogether. And then after The Walking Dead, we have Preacher coming up. Like, holy fuck, Preacher's going to be on TV. Oh my god, I'm fucking so excited, like, every day. There's just so much goods. It's hard to believe, like, all this stuff is actually being made. Like, I just dreamed of this stuff as a kid, and now it's here. And it's good. That's the other thing. It's no longer the no one takes this stuff seriously genre. Like, people that love this stuff are making these movies and taking it seriously and doing it pretty honorably. That's not bad. And that's the coolest thing about this whole, like, whatever we're living in. It's also what makes me excited for Borderlands 3. Or, sorry, Borderlands the movie. Because if they can take this approach to that stuff, like, why can't they do that same thing to video games? That was pretty awesome there, just dropping those dudes. So, Daredevil. Oh my god. I mean, I hope you guys watched Season 1, because Season 1 was fucking fantastic. And the fact that they kind of did, like, almost R-rated TV. I don't know if it probably would have been R-rated if that was a movie. I mean, at least some of those scenes. And the theme of Daredevil is so good. So in this Season 2... Man, I want to be careful here, but... They were able to put in so many enemies and so many plot points and so many characters and do them all so well. One of the things I loved about the Daredevil comics is he wasn't just fighting your big bads. There's a lot of, like, mobster stuff. Almost died there. You know, a lot of crime stuff. And it wasn't all just massive supervillains. Oh, no wonder. Foreman. Come here, Rusty. And this Daredevil season did that so well. You had a lot of mob and crime lord stuff. You had... I hate the fact that you can't phase lock him. You had the Yakuza. You had the Hand. You had the Irish Mafia. You have... Oh, hello, buddy. You know, Elektra's in it. That's no spoiler. We all knew that. I might die here. I should fight the other guys. Where are they? There's someone. Oh, there's another villain that comes back that I don't even want to say because I didn't know he was going to be in there. But some of those scenes were incredible. And it was just awesome just weaving all of these things together into this really awesome, cohesive story. And it was amazing how they... Oh, shit. I thought I could have life tapped out of that, but I was too late. He didn't slag, did he? I got a little confident there. Oh, well. So be it. But, yeah, holy crap, it was good. The Punisher. I guess that's a great way to start. Everyone knows the Punisher's in this series, and this was Marvel introducing the Punisher. And it wasn't just like he was in there for a little cameo. Like, he was almost the main character of the whole series. And that was amazing. John Barenthal, you guys probably know him from The Walking Dead. Oh, I had to start all the way back here. He is the definitive Punisher up to this point, without a doubt in my mind. I mean, well, let's be honest. Ivan Drago, he's out. But, Tom Jane, I think, understood the character of the Punisher, but I don't think the people making that movie quite did. It was a bit too early in the, I guess, the canon of modern comic book movies. It was a little bit before they got him right, and they didn't quite make him right. I thought Tom Jane's character was a bit too soft for what he should have been. Come on, turret. But it was close. His dirty laundry short was spot on, I think. Wow, just all the death. I don't even know what I'm shooting at here. I'm just shooting at red dots. And then there was that Punisher Warzone thing where they kind of made him a little bit too hard, I guess. He still wasn't quite right in that. But then, yeah, we got this Punisher, and he just seemed to be the perfect mix of what the Punisher should be. Just absolutely ruthless. I don't know what I want to say without spoiling it, but holy fuck. He had some monologues. Be ready for episode 4. He gives a speech that should win him awards. He was so fucking good. And just... yeah, he was just a Punisher. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that. Sorry, I'm not a professional movie reviewer or anything. But yeah, they nailed it like I didn't think they possibly could. And that was just so refreshing to see that. Oh, hey, black hole from the foreman. That's cool. Yeah, just watching him in action, watching the Punisher and Daredevil fight, it was just like seeing the comic books come on screen, I guess. And it's so awesome that these characters no longer have to be kind of Hollywoodized, for lack of a better term. Like, these characters are the characters from the comics, you know. I mean, Daredevil, they've got him so right. And they got the Punisher so right. And Elektra was really fucking awesome. Seeing, you know, the hand in action once again. You know, some of that stuff can come off cheesy, like, oh, look, he's fighting ninjas. But, like, it doesn't. It just comes off awesome. And that's not easy. I guess that's the other thing I love about comic book movies now is... I mentioned Vision earlier, and when Vision showed up in the Age of Ultron, he was just Vision, like, unapologetically Vision. And when, like, the first X-Men movies came out, you know, they made the jokes about the yellow spandex, and instead they were wearing black leather and all this stuff, but they've now got to the point where they can just be like, yes, this is this character, this is what he looks like, you know. Iron Man looks like Iron Man, Thor looks like Thor. And it's so awesome they're able to just go out and do that. Without fear or anything. They're just, these are these characters, this is what they look like, fucking deal with it. And that is so cool. And that's part of it, you know, Daredevil. Daredevil, I thought they did it really interesting, because, you know, in Season 1, he had to kind of work for his costume. You didn't see the costume until, like, the last episode. That got loud there. And that was cool. It worked. And then when he finally got the costume, you know, it made sense. He just didn't have it. And, you know, this one was kind of a similar thing. At least with, like, Punisher and Elektra. They didn't really look like their full comic book versions at first. But then it happened throughout the storytelling, which is so cool. And when you finally see it, it's rewarding, you know. I like that, earning that. Fucking turrets. I hate those things. Oh shit, this is bad. Needed some healing there. Still need some healing. Thank you, Life Tab. Jesus, there's everything here. Gotta love Opportunity. Just a shit show. But yeah, I love just kind of waiting for that stuff and letting it come out organically like they do. Come here, Surveyor. Stop being a dick. Just makes the whole thing that much better. Alright, you get to die first, and then he'll be fully healed. Nope. Will that kill him? Okay, now he's finally dead. Fucking turret. Who's left down there? Just a little gun guy. Yeah, there's so much I want to say about Daredevil. It's just too early to spoil stuff, so I'm being ultra careful here. I don't think I've spoiled anything. There's one thing I wanted to talk about, but I'm resisting because, yeah, it's too good to ruin for you guys. You guys just need to go out and watch Daredevil 1 or Daredevil season 2 or season 1 if you haven't watched it yet, because it's just mind-blowingly good. And I've always liked the underdog characters, you know, your Daredevils, your Wolverines, your Batmans, the guys that aren't like all powerful beings, you know, like your Supermans and Silver Surfers and all that stuff. I mean, that stuff can be cool. I am excited for the Batman v Superman, of course. But I much prefer, like, the guys that feel pain. You know, the guys that kind of have to work for it and can be compromised and can be hurt, even though, you know, Wolverine's got his healing factor, but, you know, he outside of his healing factor, he's pretty much a dude with claws and a tough skeleton. You know, he can't fly and shoot lasers and be indestructible and lift up, you know, tons and tons of weight and all that stuff. He doesn't really have all that. And that's, you know, again, Daredevil. Like, the guy takes punishment, and it's kind of like that willpower and, like, figuring out how to win, and I don't know. That's the stuff that kind of does it for me with the comics. You know, Punisher's definitely in that category as well. Punisher's so fucking cool. I'm still just in disbelief, like, how awesome all this shit is, and the fact that they're just doing it. And doing it so fucking well. That's the thing. I mean, so I guess enough about Daredevil, because I'm going to eventually spoil things if I keep trying to skirt around that. But, yeah, so coming up here we have, you know, obviously Batman v Superman, which at first I was a little worried about, but the more I see about it, it's just looking so fucking cool. Some people are off on Ben Affleck, but, like, Ben Affleck has wanted to play Batman his entire life. And he's the guy that really takes that character seriously. He loves Batman. And people will point out to his Daredevil, which was shit. But I don't blame him for that movie. That movie was just a disaster from the start. But, yeah, the fact that they've greenlit so much stuff with Ben Affleck. And Ben Affleck movies, like, between The Town and Argo, and, like, lately, like, that dude's been killing it. Just putting out, like, really high-quality work. I have a feeling he was one of those, I realize that I'm a hot actor, and I'm going to cash in my chips while I'm hot, and then I can be independent and do what I want to do with my career later. And that's what they've kind of said through, like, people that know him or kind of inside sources. And as much as you want to go, oh, sell out this and that, you know, if you can do that while you're young and hot and just get that money and then be able to be just kind of financially independent and make what you want later in your career, more power to you, because, fuck, that's the way to do it if you ask me. But beyond that movie, I mean, Civil War, those trailers have been hitting, and oh my god, that looks so fucking amazing. Like, my biggest complaint with the last Avengers movie is it was just kind of like Avengers 1 again. It was just this big faceless army. And we've already seen them fight a big faceless army. That's not new. You know, that's pretty much what Avengers 1 was. And Avengers 1 was awesome. But Avengers 2 was just kind of like Avengers 1.5. I guess it was like the pre-sequel. It wasn't new enough. And now that Civil War is coming off, first of all, Civil War in the books was awesome. And that's not going to be exactly the same, but fucking get over that. But it's... I don't know, just like watching that final scene when all of them run at each other, and I would much rather watch, like, you know, Cap and Iron Man and these guys go at it than just watching them fight another faceless army of hordes. You know, that's what I want to see. I want to kind of see equal footing fighting, not just them fighting the masses and potentially getting overrun, which you know they won't because it's the Avengers. So like in Civil War, like someone's gonna have to lose. Like there are gonna have to be real consequences. Their fire dots are a joke on warlorders, and that looks awesome. You know, Black Panther going in action finally. I mean, they've been talking about a Black Panther movie since fucking forever. I mean, they were talking about Wesley Snipes playing him, like way back in the day. Like I think like pre-tax evasion Wesley Snipes. And that's pretty hilarious that finally we're seeing him on screen. You know, that new Spider-Man looks fucking cool. They're finally kind of doing the young Spider-Man again, but actually casting a young kid to play young Spider-Man, so he seems like a kid compared to these kind of veteran heroes. I think that's really cool. Yeah, just the fact that we're just getting like all these people in one movie, and before that was kind of the kiss of death. These movies would just keep bringing in like too many characters and fucking them up. You know, the old Batman Forever syndrome. But that's no longer really the case here. They're doing this and doing it well. Like there's so many characters in Batman v Superman, and it's not like a scary thing. It's an awesome thing. There's no one left to phase lock. You know, usually... Yeah, that's it. You saw a little stutter there, too. That was sweet. But yeah, usually that was kind of the kiss of death for these movies, but now they're able to intertwine this stuff so well with all these characters and get a good balance of them. And I guess that was like a good point of Age of Ultron. It's like they really gave Hawkeye some amazing stuff where you didn't really expect it. And I don't know, man, it's so cool right now. It's just, you know, growing up wanting to see all this stuff, and now we are. And the fact that the comic book movie, or sorry, the video game movie is right behind here. And I know people are like, oh, there's never been a good video game movie, but there's a point where there wasn't really good comic book movies either. I guess you can go back to the old Richard Donner Superman, but if you watch the other ones, they're terrible past the first one. And comic book movies used to have the same stigma that video game movies have now. And partially that was the people that did them were just kind of cashing in a paycheck. They didn't care about the content. But that's changed because now we have filmmakers and producers, directors, actors that have grown up playing these games or play them now. And they want to see these taken seriously and done well. And that's a really exciting time right now. You know, it's an exciting time to be a nerd. The internet has won. Nerds have prevailed. And we're getting all this cool stuff. So I'm incredibly excited that, you know, these comic book properties are being done so well. You know, again, Preacher right around the corner. Dear God, I can't believe that's happening. I can't wait for AMC to do it, and The Walking Dead, and just so much cool stuff. So I'm so excited for the Borderlands movie, obviously, but even more than that, like the World of Warcraft movie with like Duncan Jones doing it. That's nuts. You know, Half-Life and Portal might get movies, I guess, depending on that. There's been so many awesome stories told in the video game, just in video games in general, to see some of those get translated into films. Fuck, please, Hollywood, make a Red Dead Redemption movie. I would be so ridiculously happy at that. But, yeah, I think I've kind of talked and ranted enough, and I think I've killed everything in this map. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Please don't put any spoilers in the comments. I will ban the fuck out of you for doing that. Doing spoilers in the comments is not funny. It's stupid and annoying. So don't be that guy or that girl. Just don't. But yeah, let me know what you kind of think or are excited or whatever. Let's talk about comics, because it's a cool fucking time to be alive. That's it for today. I will see you guys later. I'll kind of get back to my regular content. Like I said, I binged through Daredevil in a day and a half. And I've also been watching a lot of the March Madness because I live in Madison, Wisconsin, and I love my Badgers. Well, I don't have season tickets. My parents have season tickets, and I go with them to a lot of games because I love the Badgers, and they're kind enough to share the season tickets with me. It's kind of me and my dad's bonding experience over basketball. It's about all we have in common. And but it's a cool thing to bond over, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I've been watching a lot of those games, and I root for Big Ten teams. You know, during the season you kind of hate them, but it's just nice to see your conference do well. And we had some terrible upsets like Michigan State and stuff, but Indiana beating Kentucky, Kentucky losing to the Big Ten 2 years in a row. Oh, that's sweet. Seeing those Kentucky fans like cry in the stands again. Brings joy to me. Sorry if you're from Kentucky, but, you know, Big Ten pride here. Even though I typically hate Indiana. But I'm ranting off topic here, so I will call this a video, and I will see you guys later. Thanks for sticking with and watching. Bye.